Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Arundhati Ramnan, and with me in the Bombay studio today is Ritu Singh. These are the top headlines from the startup world. BharatPe acquires a 51% stake in NBFC Trillion Loans. With this acquisition, the fintech unicorn joins its peers Cred, Uni and Lending Cart in acquiring NBFCs to shore up their credit play. BharatPe will bring in product and technological capabilities that will help Trillion Loans launch new digital lending products.
Health tech startup Myntra acquires women's health and wellness company Myntra for an undisclosed sum, and through this acquisition, it aims to expand its healthcare program.
Retail technology firm Ace Turtle gets $34 million in a Series B funding round led by Vertex Growth, SPI Investments, Stride Ventures and others. With the funds, the company aims to expand its brand portfolio, acquire licenses for new fashion and lifestyle brands and hire talent.
Creator-focused platform Hyped raises $4 million in a pre-Series A round from Oreo Venture Partners. The funding round also saw existing investors Source, VC and Better Capital double down in the round.
Meta is looking to raise $8.5 billion in a 5-part bond offering, its second issue after it raised $10 billion last year. The Facebook parent said the bond issue's longest 40-year security could yield 192 basis points over treasuries.
Well, on what's brewing, the Enforcement Directorate carried out searches at 3 premises linked to edtech firm Byju's and its founder Baiju Ravindran in Bengaluru. Now, this is in connection with the probe into alleged foreign exchange violations. In a statement, the ED said that it recovered various incriminating documents and digital data during the searches. It also said the company had received foreign direct investment to the tune of 28,000 crore rupees between 2011 to 2023. Further, the company also remitted more than 9,750 crore rupees to various foreign jurisdictions during the same period in the name of overseas direct investment.
And shortly after the ED search, Byju CEO Baiju Ravindran sent an email to all employees assuring them that the company was working together with the authorities. A day later, Baiju's top boss said, and I quote, "The company has taken all efforts to fully comply with all applicable foreign exchange laws." He added, "All our cross-border transactions have been duly vetted by both its professional advisors and counsel of the investment funds and other sophisticated counterparties," end of quote.
Well, it has been 2 years of the Startup India Seed Fund scheme being launched by the government. The mandate is to provide financial assistance to early-stage startups to be able to grow their business. And that's not all. The scheme, that is under the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, provides mentorship in how to pitch ideas, reach out to social media and engaging proper brand exercises through their portal. Abhimanyu Sharma caught up with DPIIT's Joint Secretary Marmeet Nanda to find out what the progress has been under this scheme.
With the Startup India Seed Scheme, we realized that the maximum number of fund that is required for an early startup is in their nascent stage, and I think that's why the scheme mandate was there. 2 years and has been very successful. 1,000 plus startups onboarded, about 165 incubators that have been brought up, and I think many success stories. We managed to reach many districts far-flung right up to the last mile. Many about startups that are showing very successful results coming up from northeast hilly states. 50% such startups are women-led. 65% of these startups that have benefited are from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. The uniqueness of the Indian startup ecosystem heralded by DPIIT lies in its strength that it gives in terms of mentoring and hand-holding of the startups through various stages, bringing them one-to-one interactions with experts, shadowing possibilities with unicorns, trying to teach them ways on how they can manage their business. This entire framework has been very well visioned by DPIIT.
Moving on, founded in 2013, Omnichannel lifestyle startup, the Soul Store is about to turn 10, so we decided to do a quick check-in. I'm at the Soul Store in Malad in Mumbai. Now remember, the venture recently raised 135 crore rupees in a strategic round of funding led by Exponential Capital and also saw participation from its investors, Elevation Capital and RPSG Capital. The venture now hopes to open 200 stores, offline stores of course, and reach a revenue target of 1,500 crore rupees all in 3 years. To talk to me about the road ahead, joining me now is Vedang Patel, the co-founder and CEO. Vedang, welcome to Startup Street. First, let me start by congratulating you on completing almost 10 years now. Tell me, what was the idea behind the name the idea behind the logo. And of course, then if you could talk to us about your casual wear offerings, how they are unique and what sets them apart from competition.
Yeah, 10 years has been a long journey. You know, I was 23 when I started it with my co-founders Aditya, Harsh and Rohin. But the reason behind the name was to do what you like and follow your soul.
Okay.
We were kids. We still believe in that now. We have this very strong thesis in our culture that you should really enjoy what you do. Otherwise, every Sunday, you're just dreading your Monday, and there are too many Mondays, you know, to go on hating.
Yeah.
That's the reason we started it. What's so unique about us, I think being in this mall, you will notice there are a lot of big brands around us with very big stores.
Yeah.
And I had my aha moment one Saturday when I came here to this very store. And I saw this was packed. We had 20, 30 people in the store. And everyone else had barely one or two. And I realized, because most brands compete with themselves selling the basic black and blue and green, and then when you go around here, our USP is design. We not only bring out the pop culture element, which is like a Batman, Superman, Minions, but we also make it fun and wearable to the Indian audience. And that's actually what we're creative about.
Talk to me about your best-selling products or your best-selling categories and the average amount of orders that you're seeing monthly. What is the GMV?
Well, you know, when we first started with just T-shirts. It used to be more than 90% of our sales. Today, we have not just men's T-shirts, but women's T-shirts, dresses, joggers. We launched sneakers, shorts, activewear. So now, I would say men's T-shirts is now less than 25% from the 100% that it used to be.
Okay.
So I can't pick a favorite right now. On the GMV, we are right now at our annual run rate of above 400 crores.
Okay.
One reason why we started this business is to do good business.
Yeah.
So from the start, our unit economics always had to be stellar. I don't know if you know about how we started, but literally the four of us started with 5.5 lakhs in the business total. And we grew to about a 30-40 crore run rate before we raised our first ever capital. So we know how to run profitable, you know, cash positive businesses, and that's how we want to continue doing it. A lot of people ask me, what's the number one factor in growing a brand? And actually it's time. Consistency over time is what will grow a brand. You know, people and investors will compare you to Levi's or Uniqlo, but Levi's is twice as old as the country.
Yeah.
And Uniqlo is just started after like World War II. So I think it's time helps grow a brand. In the meanwhile, just do good business while you do it, and the growth will come.
Clearly, your investors are going to be happy. And speaking of investments, you recently raised 135 crore rupees. You know, I believe the idea is to grow your existing categories and also enter into new lifestyle products and spaces. Tell me, what are the new areas, the new categories and products you're looking at? What's in the pipeline?
In the pipeline, we are launching a new sneaker every Friday. We have kids wear, which is now blowing up a lot because everything we do is actually relatable to kids as well, and we want to go international. But what we've also realized with launching perfumes, people like our products and they like the brand, and we can continue double downing on this whole lifestyle experience.
You also plan to increase your offline presence and do destination stores. So if you could elaborate on that, and also about the fact that you plan to put, what, 200 stores in the next 3 years?
You know, it's very funny how we started our first store. My co-founder Aditya and I, we were looking at the price of a billboard in Bandra, and they were really expensive. It was a few lakh rupees, and then we realized that's the rent of a store and there's a permanent billboard there.
So better to rent out a store.
At least you'll get customer feedback if nothing, right? But the store did so well. In the usual apparel business, you hope to make profit from your 3rd to 4th month and recover the capex in 1 or 2 years. We were profitable since day 1, and we recovered capex in about 2 to 3 months. So we were like, wow, people really like this, and the offline model works for us. And then we've just been opening stores ever since. We made money even during the pandemic at our stores. All our stores have been profitable since day 1, and all of them have recovered capex. You're
also planning to offer 100% ESOP buyback, you know. So can you give us a sense of the size of the ESOP buyback, and also what's the idea behind, you know, complete buyback?
Well, the ESOP buyback is in many crores, but the reason for this is when you give ESOPs in most companies, people think that it's just paper and it has no value. And the moment we start offering a buyback, there is now value attached to it. On top of that, you can see the value of your share grow as the business grows. So all of a sudden, we want to align the team for the long term versus just that salary and that KPI. And I think this just makes everyone's incentives in the same direction.
All right, you also, like I mentioned earlier in the interview, you have a target of 1,500 crore rupees in revenue in the next 3 years. You said your stores are all profitable. So I understand what makes you bullish, but I also want to know, are there plans to grow globally? You said that. So any markets that you're eyeing, if you can talk to us about that, and how soon?
The plan for 1,500 crores, if I'm going to be arrogant, isn't even that ambitious in 3 years. We want to go way more than that. Maybe it will take more time, but much more than that. I'm going to be super arrogant and also say that whatever products we launch, whichever stores we are starting, they're all working. We actually yet to figure out what doesn't work. We have a 600 square feet store and a 5,000 square feet store. We have one in Bangalore and we have an Indore, and all of them are doing really well. So we are yet to figure out what doesn't work, but we think that as long as we continue to show the excellence in our products, good design, great quality, there's nothing stopping us. And internationally, like you can see, there's a Batman, Garfield, Superman, Marvel, Minions. All of this is relatable internationally. We also have a name that's, agnostic to the geography that you operate in. The Soul Store. Truly follow your soul and come shop with us. So we feel like we can take this first to the Middle East, which we are about to do. And then probably.
So how soon?
We are already live in UAE.
You also have plans to go public? How soon? I mean, is there a timeline that you have in place?
Going public does come with its own baggage. You can't just randomly change your business plan and mind as you do. But it's also the right place for our investors, to get some liquidity. But we are looking for, in 3 to 4 years, a lot of market dynamics matter here, but I think that should happen.
All right, okay. Vedang, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you and wish you the very best with all your growth plans. Many thanks for joining us on Startup Street.
Thank you so much. It was a delight to be here.
Walmart-owned e-commerce player Myntra has launched a separate fashion experience portal for Gen Z on its platform. With the rising demand for fashion blogging, more and more younger audiences are turning towards purchases made through influencer recommendations. This is the space that Myntra aims to capitalize. Going forward, the shopping platform has joined hands with 500 fashion influencers for the same. Here's the story of Myntra's Forward. Take a look.
Myntra is aggressively tweaking its assortment to woo those born between 1997 and early 2012. With the launch of its new fashion discovery portal, Forward. As per a Bain & Company report, this large group makes up 1 of 3 online shoppers in India currently and is better known as Gen Z.
We've been working on this for a few quarters, and the inspiration behind Forward came from the fact that today almost 52% of the online shopping population is millennials and Gen Z consumers, right? And almost 30% of the online shoppers are actually Gen Zs. Gen Z consumers are spending 8 hours online. Their inspiration for fashion, their discovery for fashion, all of it is happening online. They are very, very aware of what's happening globally. So if you look at trends which are, oversized t-shirts or hypergraphics or vacay chill or bohemian, all of these are trends which are actually happening globally and are being very, very quickly being adopted by Indian consumers. What we realized as we were looking at this population was that we have to create a very, very differentiated shopping experience for them. The Forward shopping experience is one of its kind, first in India, interactive, immersive Gen Z shopping experience.
Myntra Forward will be an app-in-app and be visible on the homepage, along with simplified trend spotting to shopping, photo search and daily drops, among other features. A research from Kantar showed that almost 44% of Gen Zers made a purchase decision based on an influencer recommendation. To capitalize on this trend, Myntra has partnered with over 500 fashion influencers to offer content to convert purchases.
Video on demand, which is our format of short form video, which is used extensively by Gen Z for inspiration, is something that will be introduced. Photo search, which is a very important part of the Myntra shopping experience, will have a very new rendition for Gen Z in the form of a very seamless trend spotting photo, like you take a screenshot on social media and quickly search for it on Myntra. So that will be a very, very new rendition. And finally, not only trends that they see on social media, but also trends that they see celebs wearing. So celeb style files, trend files, and partnering with, influencers and photographers like Viral Bhayani, etc. is something which is part of the offering.
Forward initially will offer over 65,000 style options from over 500 brands. Myntra's private label brands like Roadster, Sangria will also be part of Forward.
We collaborated with brands and sellers who are very agile to Gen Z trends, and these brands are ranging from global brands like H&M, Trendyol, etc. Some of the online first brands like Sasafaras, Tokyo Talkies, but also some very, very specific Gen Z brands like Freakins, like Hershey in a Box, etc. Today we have, like I said, 65,000 styles on the platform, 500 plus brands. The idea is to take this to 1 lakh plus styles by the end of the year, but also introduce close to 6,000 to 8,000 styles every month.
Myntra added 8.6 million Gen Z customers in 2022 and is now looking to add another 10 million in the next 2 years with Forward.
I think a large part of consumer addition is happening by the Gen Z consumers. So today we have almost 8.5 million Gen Z consumers on the platform. But over the next 2 years, we will add another 10 million consumers from the Gen Z cohort. And this cohort will, over a period of time, have a higher share of wallet that they will spend online, and their wallet size itself will increase. And therefore, over the next few years, you will see growth coming in. From a large part of the growth will start coming in from the Gen Z consumers that we acquired today.
20% of the world's Gen Z live in India with a purchasing power of about $360 billion as per market estimates. Investors are keen to pump money into Gen Z e-commerce. As per reports, Newme, that's being touted as the Sheen of India, is said to be in the final stages of closing a funding deal with Fireside Ventures. Last year, Vergio, which was founded by former Myntra CEO Amar Nagaram, backed $35 million within months of its launch. This is Ishwarya Anand for CNBC-TV18.
Well, we have to take a short break on that note, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, new age SaaS platform Lead Square turned a unicorn last year. We put the firm's founder on the hot seat to talk about their growth story and the road to profitability.